Thursday, January 15th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. Let's get right into things this morning. There's a look at a couple of web cameras across the region. The Avalon Pier camera obviously not updating. That is an old image there. The Beach Mountain Parkway cam looking good, courtesy of resortcams.com. There in Kill Devil Hills, it's 36, it's 29 atop Beach Mountain. Now, across the Piedmont zones, especially this morning, down to parts of the coastal plain, you have some fog, and in many instances that is actually freezing fog this morning. And what that means is you have fog occurring with temperatures below freezing, and that can add to the black ice issues on some area roads this morning. So I would use an abundance of caution there across especially the foothills and the Piedmont zones, anywhere that the temperatures are below freezing this morning. Just the bridges and the overpasses especially could have some areas of black ice this morning. These are current readings, 30 in Greensboro, but a lot of the Triad and the Charlotte viewing areas down into the 20s this morning. It's 32 in Raleigh, 25 in Boone, but 40 down in Columbia. All right, here's the setup. Low pressure down in the Gulf, the Gulf of Mexico, and pretty little area precip, which I'll show you in more detail in just a second, from Louisiana to Mississippi. Still some lingering low clouds and fog in parts of our area, and just as we try to kind of get rid of that, we have this veil of high clouds with that incoming system, mid and high level clouds set to roll on in. No precipitation here, but you look off to the west of us and a little bit of snow flying in parts of the Ozarks, spilling into southern Illinois and Kentucky, and some sleet pellets there in parts of northern Mississippi. And then it's just some rain through central and southern Mississippi and down into Louisiana. Wet morning in places like New Orleans, Biloxi, Jackson, moving into Mobile and Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And again, a lot of clouds associated with that system already fanning overhead in the western Carolinas. Watch what happens with this system, though. This is the futurecast rain totals here, and notice that system kind of dries out pretty significantly as it pushes into the Carolinas. Now, looks like we took that loop too far. All right, here we go. Let me try that one more time. There you go. Notice the system kind of dries out as it pushes into the Carolinas, but I think we will see the chance here late this afternoon and into this evening of a little bit of light rain out there. Quick hitting system moving through. That system suppressed pretty far to the south there, and again, you notice a lot of this precipitation drying up as it tries to push in. But having said that, there is that chance of a few areas of some light rain this evening. High temperatures today across the region. A lot of 40s on the board in the Piedmont. Then you hit some 50s toward the Sandhills. And then tomorrow, here's a sunny day I think we've all been waiting for. Beautiful day on Friday with high temperatures warming toward the lower 50s in many spots, some mid-50s further to the south and east. And then Saturday still looks pretty good. High pressure overhead, plenty of sunshine. I have trimmed the numbers back just a bit in terms of high temperatures for Saturday, but still not a bad day, looking pretty good overall around the region. And I'll show you the more detailed modeling here in just a moment, but it still looks like as we get into Sunday, quick hitting chance of some showers anywhere from Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then maybe a little bit of lingering precip later in the day Sunday, depending on which computer model you believe. All right, on to the more detailed modeling. In fact, let me grab this chart. Let's see, right here. There's the European model, valid Sunday evening. And that is when you're looking at a little bit of precip lingering behind the system as cold air rushes in. And some of the modeling verbatim, you get a few areas of some flurries or so, something along those lines later Sunday into Sunday evening. But for the time being, I'm going to consider that as an unlikely possibility. All right, let's go further out in time. All right, so this is going to be, you saw a sneak peek a minute ago. This is the Canadian model, and this is really the next decent system that there's pretty good agreement is going to roll through here in the Thursday to Friday time period next week. There's not a great amount of agreement as to the track this system would take. That's what you might expect, though, here as you're 7 or 8 days away. But that's the Canadian scenario there, area of low pressure over Georgia, and snow, Kentucky, Tennessee, into the Virginias, and taking at face value that most of the Carolinas is rain. All right, here's the European scenario. It is much more amplified and wrapped up with the system now. This thing cuts up into the Ohio Valley Friday morning. Now, interestingly, on the European ensemble mean here, all right, that's the ensemble mean of the European. It's not as amplified of a system, and it's a little bit more suppressed, so we'll see about that. The 0Z run today of the GFS looks something like this. Yeah, like this. Okay, and that is valid Friday evening of next week. And you notice there, low pressure centered off the Outer Banks. Pretty decent agreement there with the GFS ensemble mean. And you take a close look here at the Carolinas, and that's what we're looking at. You'll have some snow with this system. Now let me go back and show you a previous run of the GFS. All right, notice it was a little bit further south with the system there, and you had more snow through northwestern South Carolina and really a decent chunk of western and central North Carolina down to roughly I-85, and some of the European control runs and ensemble runs from yesterday were very aggressive with snow across the Tennessee Valley and into the Carolinas. So I think we're entering a pattern here which is going to be much more conducive for trying to spin up some winter weather possibilities across parts of the southeast. That doesn't mean it's going to definitely materialize, but certainly some better favorable type of patterns ahead overall if you're looking to try to find some more widespread winter weather chances here as we get later into the month of January, and really a lot of indications that a lot of chilly weather is coming down the pike here for the second half of winter. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everybody have a wonderful day, and God bless.